Hello and welcome to Pushing Cardboard. I'm Grant Lindenberg, and today we're doing an unboxing of a game I've been anxiously awaiting for a while here. This is Gettysburg, the First Day from Revolution Games from designer Steve Carey. Steve has become sort of a master designer of these blind swords games. So I've been really waiting to kind of sink my teeth into this one. His game previous to this was Shiloh, the First Day, and he's kind of taken that same idea here and done Gettysburg, the First Day. I think it's a way of, I think the blind sword system sort of breaks down if you do the whole giant, some of these larger engagements. So this is a way to kind of chunk it out and do just a section. I mean, I think there's an earlier game in the Blind Sword series that I think Long Street Attacks. I think that's Gettysburg's Second Day, maybe, right? Anyway, this I saw this in pre-release in playtest, and so I can't wait to open it up. It's going to be the same sort of thing you see in all the Blind Swords games. Really excellent for solo play because it's chit pull and tons of replayability with all the events and whatnot. So anyway, let's just get this box open and see what we're looking at. Oh, come on. There we go. That's a tight shrink wrap. Good looking cover. Dice. Yeah, if you get the Ziploc version of the game, this would be your cover piece. So we should get the record track on the other side. That's fairly standard for game to game. Has where the broken boxes and then back to available victory point tracks, and the turn record track, which always gives you notes on reinforcements and special things that happen, not just in the overall scenario, but in the smaller scenarios as well. Looks good as always. Here's the combat results table, which will be familiar to many of you who've played the series before. The big difference from game to game is always each game has little bits of differences in terms of the fire combat shifts and the close combat shifts. There's different ways that different designers handle special things that happen in whatever engagement they're trying to model, or sometimes they have a different idea of like, well, this woods is actually not as dense as other woods or what have you. So the fire combat shifts sometimes change a little from game to game, and sometimes you'll see a certain engagement might feature a kind of a special weapon that was only in hasn't appeared before, and it'll show up on this chart as well. So anyway, that's the combat results chart. Here's the cohesion tables. These are what you roll on. If this is from fire combat, this is from close combat, and terrain key. All really standard stuff here. Yeah, I don't see much here that's gonna. Well, there's a Rocky Woods. I'll be interested to see what that is. I don't know that I've seen a Rocky Woods hex before. Maybe I have. Here's a second copy of the CRT or the player aid with the CRT, etc. This would be the Union events. Both sides get their own set of event chits, and we see old favorites like Command Confusion, Firefight, Forced March. We've seen all of those before, but we see some new ones here. We've got something for Barricades, something for False Intelligence, and a special chit for someone called John Burns. So we'll have to see what that does. Oh, and yeah, a rally chit. We've seen that before. We've seen skirmishes before. So, and here's the fog of war table. First scenario 16.4. So it looks like they have, I always like it when they have, instead of one generic fog of war table, which are basically like random events tables. I like it, the way they've been doing it in Blind Swords for the last few games, where each game has its own, or each scenario often has its own fog of war table. Looks like that's what they're doing in this case, which is great. Here's the events for the Confederates. We have, again, Command Confusion and False Intel, Firefight, Force March. Those we've seen. We saw that in the other the false intel with the Union. Rebel Yell. We often see this for the Confederates, of course. A rally, that's pretty standard. And an event for veterans, which is probably going to give them a little sticking power. And then a fog of war table for scenario 16.4. Oh, and a special events table. So who knows? Who knows where that comes in? It's probably another roll off of a fog of war that sends you that way. Here's a terrain effects chart, brigade orders details. This always tells you this little. You see it here. This is not always the same from game to game to game. Just in that the movement points for the attack, defend, maneuver. Here for an infantry, it's 6, 4, and 8. Sometimes it might be like 8, 6, and 10, or 4, 2, and 6, or something like that. It's not totally standard from game to game. It's one of those things that designers tweak. General casualties, if a general gets injured. Nice sequence of play with some fog of war tables for the other scenarios. Great. This is just a copy of the same player's aid. This is another great thing. They've been doing this for, I don't know, since game 6 or 7 maybe. But these brigade activation displays, they're just so much nicer to work with. And the first few games in the series, you would just put these activation chits out along the edge of the board, out of the way, but they always sort of still did feel in the way. So this is a much tidier and easier thing to deal with and see at a glance who's been used, who hasn't been used, and what's going on. This is great. So 3 different commander-in-chief chits here for the Union. We have Reynolds, Howard, and Hancock, with Howard being really looking terrible. Who knows if I'm sure they get used, not all of them in all scenarios. Here's the Confederate version of the same thing. Here we just have Lee is your Lee, and injured Lee basically is your only commander-in-chief for the Confederacy. And we have Early, Rhodes, Anderson, Pender, and Heth. Never sure if it's Heth or Heath. I always say Heth. Anyway, this will be just one-sided because there's you need it on the board. But anyway, those again looks great. Can't wait to use it. Here's the series rules, which have become fairly standard now. Just black and white, but 2 columns, big print, really easy to read and deal with. These rules have really settled down. They're probably like says it's version 1.4. They're like the tinkering that they do with them now is really minor. And here's the scenario book. Let's look at this exclusive rules first. So usually the exclusive rules have the scenarios right in it, but this time no. So just exclusive rules in a rule book. This is new to me. I don't think I've seen a big color front page on a rule book like this, or a scenario book like this in this series before. Maybe I have. Maybe I just haven't seen it. I've definitely seen. They've had color in their rule books before, so that's not a surprise. But yeah, this is just a what, 8, 9. Yeah, 10 pages of exclusive rules, which is not bad for such a big engagement. And some of them are going to be are only going to be used in certain of the scenarios, as well as the big overall scenario. Oh, look, we have wrecked brigades. I think Steve had that in Shiloh first day as well. So that's going to be that's something he pulled from his last game. Here's the scenario book, which also has a nice cover. Same cover, actually, I think. Really, yeah. The setup, yeah. Well, it's nicer than just at the back of the rule book, I guess. But I wish they'd just like make a scenario card that laid this out a little. I hate just these lines of units where you're looking for, like, here's this with that hex, this hex with. I lose my way. I don't know. Call me old, but I need it. Like, this is even worse than the rule books you get with. From the gamers, where at least they have there's one unit and location on a line. Putting it in a paragraph like this is just like that's about as bad as it gets. I'm sorry, Revolution. I love you guys and I love your games, but this is hard to read setups. Absolutely. But anyway, there you go. It's a other than that, it's definitely a good looking rule book. It just don't like the way they put the setups, but nice color. Lots of nice set of player notes for both the Confederates and the Union. This is great. And then some designer notes from Steve Carey, who is, like I said, he's become just a master designer in this system. So I can't wait to play it. Here's the counters. They always look good. The Blind Swords counters are really attractive counters, 5/8 inch counters, of course, double-sided, of course. Yeah, those look great. That's the Union, obviously. Here's the Rebs. And here's markers. For such a wonderful game system, it's notable that there's not a ton of markers in this system. It's one of the things that makes it great. You have these shaken or disrupted markers, of course, and for Steve Carey's games, these wrecked formations. Fire move counters just for the artillery, but that's about it, right? There's no strength point markers. There's just it's a nice small amount of markers, which is makes for the way the game looks on the table is not. I'm not as fussy about that as some people are, but boy, the less markers. The prettier the table looks, to my mind. Well, here we have, here's the first map with Gettysburg right here. And it's interesting, I'm looking at the map, and you can see the four sides, none of them have an overlaying edge, so we'll have to see if the other maps fit on this, join this map or not, or if this is, if the different maps do different individual things. Who knows? I'll give you a little bit of a, see if I can get some light on that so you can, here's Gettysburg itself. You can get a bit of a look at the map, yeah. So that's the first map, a standard 22 by 34. Oh, this is a half map. This is going to be just for a certain scenario, I bet. Yeah, look at this. We just have McPherson's Ridge, the Chambersburg Pike here. I was going to say road, Hagerstown Road. So this is just like a half map, obviously just for one or two scenarios. Yeah, the Seminary Ridge with a couple of the victory point locations over here. And another smaller map. So yeah, I think that one map is for the whole thing, and these are just smaller maps for individual smaller scenarios. So here's this is an even smaller map. Map 16.3, meaning it's 16.3 is the scenario number. And we just have the tip, the northern tip of Gettysburg here, and then out across. So good looking maps as always. I think it's Edmund Hudson that does the maps for this series now. I think that's right. I think if I have it right, I think Edmund Hudson does the map. Maybe Charlie Kibler does the counters, and maybe Mark Mahaffey. Yeah, Mark Mahaffey does the box, the package, kind of the cover art and stuff like that. Anyway, that's it. That's everything that's in the box for Gettysburg, the first day, from Steve Carey and Revolution. I've been waiting for this for about a year, so I can't wait to try it. I look forward to seeing how it goes, and I look forward to hearing back from you. I'm sure I'll hear from you about how everybody's playing it. If you haven't found it yet, check out the Blind Swords Discord server. I put a Discord server together specifically for Blind Swords a little while ago, and it's been very, very active. Lots of players and a few designers, including Steve Carey stops by and answers questions there once in a while, as well as there's some designers that are working on volumes that are yet to be published. So they're talking about their design challenges and what they're up to with the way they design their upcoming games. So it's a good place if you're interested in Blind Swords. Check out the Discord server. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm Grant Linneberg for Pushing Cardboard. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you down the line.